and gentlemen, welcome on board. Thank you for traveling with Another Sheep. Let us bring you into a vibrant city, rich in contrast and colors. Take a step back, and we'll bring you from serene gardens to sleek skyscrapers. We hope you enjoy the trip with us. Now sit back and relax.
Singapore, a garden city full of the vibrancy of life. Famous for its flora and fauna, it is a great place for leisure and pleasure. People here enjoy a clean environment with a high standard of living. We have clean land, clean air, and clean water. With nice shopping districts in different sectors and sales almost all year round, consumption is always high. It is usual for people to buy things that are not needed, and these always end up as trash. But the city always has its ways of maintaining a clean living environment as we manage our waste so efficiently by disposing of it conveniently into rubbish chutes in housing estates and bins that lie around every part of Singapore.
Exactly, just like any other social issues, the government has been doing such a good job in cleaning up the place, and you see all the, I mean, even after the Christmas celebration, there were tons of cans, spray cans around, but it took only 2 hours for all the things to finish cleaning up. So people don't really have a feel of the seriousness of the problem, and because we don't really see a red attitude, so we don't feel it. So a lot of people, we are living in such a beautiful world that we comfortable world that we sometimes we forget the problem that we have. So I guess probably it's time that the government actually use another method to actually constantly remind us of this problem, and to I mean they spend so much money going about doing it, and it's all our money so it should be the best. It's all our taxpayers' money. So since it's our complaint or so much tax, maybe we can actually help to reduce it by actually putting in more effort to do all these things.
Apart from the fact that Singapore only has a land space of 650 kilometres squared for housing, industrial, commercial and recreational purposes, for a population of 4.4 million, our refuse is increasing tremendously. From 1,300 tonnes a day in 1970 to 7,600 tonnes a day in the year 2000, which is equivalent to the weight of 88 Boeing 707s. At this rate, a new incineration plant would have to be built every 5 to 7 years, and the 350-hectare landfill the size of 864.5 football fields in every 25 to 30 years. We don't have much land area for waste disposal other than the one and only existing Pulau Semakau. With the increase in refuse disposal each year, we have to find ways to prolong the lifespan usage of the landfill. We have adopted the method of incineration, as it requires the least land space by reducing the volume of waste by 90%. And so we have increased the number of incineration plants, from 1 to currently 4, over the past 27 years.
It's a need to do recycling. Venture to minimize the waste, because in Singapore we are short of land, right? And we have a 4 incineration plant at this moment, like 208, for number 5 incineration plant, which is smaller. We don't build that kind of a world-class incineration plant anymore, right? So this is good. Yeah, we don't want to be a city of an incineration plant.
This is how waste is being treated in Singapore. Waste around Singapore is collected to the incineration plants, firstly by refuse container trailers and refuse collection vehicles. Then, they are weighed at the weigh bridges before discharging the refuse into the enclosed refuse bunker. The refuse is subsequently fed into the incinerator by overhead grab cranes. Where the waste is incinerated, it creates another form of energy, heat. Though the heat energy released by the combustion of the refuse is then used to generate electricity, it is only enough for 2 to 3% of electricity usage in Singapore. And the final stage of waste disposal, the non-incinerable waste like construction waste, oil sludge, and the incinerated waste which has ended up as ash, are transported to Pulau Semakau for landfill. On arrival, the barges are berthed within an enclosed transfer building for the unloading operation. Large excavators with interchangeable and specially designed grabs are used to unload the refuse directly onto large 35-ton payload off-road dump trucks before proceeding to the tipping site. Surprisingly, Semakau landfill is no smelly dump. The air is fresh and there is thriving wildlife, thanks to the pro-environmental and conservation measures taken. But because of our limited space for landfill and our coming future, waste minimalisation has become a crucial component of Singapore's environmental sustainability strategy, and to conserve resources for our future descendants.
The ability to recycle could be extended to every place in the world by more than it is right now. We're incredibly dependent on primary resources that we just consume and throw away. So,
by doing that, we must practice what we call the 3 Rs: reduce, reuse, and recycle. As we look around, people are starting to get involved in the programs initiated by government agencies, volunteer groups, and even individual efforts. But there is so much we could do to help conserve the use of nature for a better future. We will have to continue to promote recycling further and make it easier for Singaporeans to do so, rather than always depend on others to run programs and carnivals, which always end up with more waste than usual.
I strongly believe that we need some regulations here in Singapore to make it more common, and especially to, I won't say that we need to fine the public, but we need to make it a little bit harder for the business. So every business company, production company must do more for recycling.
Here are some examples of efforts carried out in Singapore to create awareness. Educational institutions like SAS, NUS and NTU are running recycling programs in their own vicinity, where students who are pioneers of the future are the ones organising and operating the collection of recyclable items in school. It helps not just to inculcate the values of the 3 Rs, but also allows them to make it into their common practice in life.
Being an educator, that I firmly believe that we can teach kids, and the sooner we get them, the better, regarding recycling and waste stream management.
The first thing we did was to place bins all around campus. The bins are different colours, yellow for metals, orange for plastics, blue for paper. So these bins are placed at strategic locations all over campus, and we also have publicity campaigns to encourage the students, to raise the awareness of students to the presence of these bins.
The main purpose for us, I think, was to promote environmental awareness in Singapore. Not only on campus, we do go out to promote environmental awareness, in the community.
Volunteer groups like Suu Kyi and Eco Singapore promote recycling by having workshops or projects like the Excess Outreach, which make sales for recycled bags and self-initiated collection of recyclable programs in residential areas. While charitable organisations like the Salvation Army create jobs and funding by sales of reusable items.
Our business is with people, right? And we have a twofold part. One is creation of employment. So we employ about 70 over people in our business here. Plus, in addition to that, we run a work therapy program whereby we engage people who are marginalized.
Corporations who are involved in the waste management help to educate the public by running campaigns like REAP and other events in regards to recycling. It also works with artists who can create pieces out of the recyclable materials.
因为首先你收集到的所有的材料用来做一套衣服，绝对不可能是，不能说绝对不可能，就是说比较不可能让人再找到一模一样的东西，把这几样东西都拼在一起。所以首先，这种 reconstruct 出来的衣服是很 unique， 就不用抛开它的形状，还是你怎么样把它缝在一起而言。但是 material itself， 它就是有生命的，然后是很特别的，每一件都是很特别的。然后所以其实很容易被这样的你找到这些材料去启发，受启发，然后再来做创造。
Finally, to make Singapore a greener and cleaner environment, we need to unify the 3 Rs in our lifestyle, rather than making them a strict, bounded set of rules to follow.